Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian and book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today I get to share with you this book called The Polar Bear and the Ballerina by Eric Velasquez. This is the story of an unlikely friendship between a ballerina and a polar bear, and it all starts with a photo shoot outside of the polar bear's exhibit. As the day goes on, one particular ballerina is quite smitten with the polar bear, as is the polar bear with the ballerina, and they spend much of the day staring at each other through the glass that divides them. When it finally comes time for the ballerina to depart to make it to the performance on time, she must reluctantly leave, but she accidentally leaves her red scarf behind. The polar bear knows he must retrieve that red scarf and bring it back to the ballerina, so he ventures across the city to return it to her. But going across the city as a polar bear is not very easy, especially when humans are not used to seeing polar bears doing those things, and the polar bear must overcome a lot of adversity along the way. Luckily, at the theater, the ballerina hears him and invites him into the performance that will change both their lives forever. This beautiful wordless picture book celebrates unlikely friendship and acceptance in a way that is memorable and unique. It is told through imagery alone, and these oil paintings depict emotions and movement in a way that will resonate with readers of all ages. As you're going through the story, you observe how humans are interacting with this polar bear and the difference between how most humans interact with the polar bear and how the ballerina herself does. There's really beautiful moments of discovery and of willingness to suspend disbelief in this magical tale as well. And while there's no formal narrative, there's ample invitation for readers to come up with a narrative of their own, what characters might be feeling as they observe the depictions, or what might be happening from one scene to the next. Readers are going to marvel at the details in the illustrations, at the way that the polar bear has some human tendencies, but also is othered somehow in the world as well because of not being human. So there are lots of big themes to discuss in this book. There are ways to examine the illustrations and the storytelling of both, and readers of all ages are going to get something out of this story. At the beginning of the book, you get a 2-page spread that tells a lot of the exposition of the story, as well as some information about polar bears. And at the end of the book, you learn about how this story came about and the ballerina who started it all. This is a beautiful story not only for young children, but also for older readers, anyone who believes in the power of magic and friendship and connectedness across both time, space, and personality, whether you're a human or a polar bear or something else. Gorgeous in both its design and the storytelling, this book is one that will stand out on shelves for years to come. If this sounds like a great fit for you or for someone you know, I hope you look for it wherever you get your books.